Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is Brave Cat here once again with the geophysical updates on here, the frontier signals. So I don't have a ton of stuff here updated on the website. It's been a bit of a busy day, hence why, it's 7:30 and I'm just now getting to this. Because again, I'm trying to make these daily efforts, even once this is, well, okay, I don't think this website's ever going to be done. This is like one of those continuous update ones. Even after I make it live and all that, like this is something I'll continually update because again, we're talking about frontier science, which is always changing. So anyways, I don't know where I was gonna go first with this. Okay, well, I guess I'll insert this really quick. So, one of the first, one of the first channels among Ben Davidson and Dutch Sense and some of these other guys was Jimmy Corsetti of Bright Insight. Since about 2017. That's about how long I've been observing these things, since 2017, which is weird thinking about that because that means that it's been about 9 years. So anyways, so when it comes to the ancient history, ancient catastrophism, I mean, that goes hand in hand with everything related here. But again, like there's a kind of specific nuance, a specific kind of direction I'm trying to go here, which is a little bit more of a neutral kind of place where I want this website to be something that basically anybody could go here and learn something from a more or less kind of neutral perspective. Not trying to push any specific theories in particular. That's why I'm going to have these peer-reviewed paper section, which, again, the only one I have here so far is the Reviews of Geophysics publication, which is a pretty big staple paper. But I have, hopefully a lot more planned. And, it depends on the source. For example, for this one, I am not able to put the entire PDF in here. So like it says PDF viewer, but for a lot of these, I'm not actually allowed to. But there's going to be a direct link with all the credibility sources there. So, I mean, that's like the bare minimum that I'm going for. So hopefully I can get some more of that stuff in here. This one is a little bit more, well, a lot more tedious to get these in here and find them. With the ancient history, I put a new tab in here. This is just kind of a placeholder, like kind of scope. Like this is just kind of what I have planned more or less to begin with. So this is like just a rough outline, and then of course we got the extras, and this is just going to be blanketed for general data sets. So I mean, this is an ambitious project here, but I've always had a lot of ambition, and this is the one project that I actually truly believe in and legitimately feel pretty revved up to actually work on this every day, unlike many of my previous things. So that's what tells me this is the right thing. So anyways, okay, now to get into the kind of general update for today. Just a little bit of a roundhouse kick just across the board here. More deep earthquakes as usual down here by Fiji, and that is going to be, kick-starting all the pressure that we see going throughout the entire Pacific and basically spreading out from there. And of course, the solar weather here. I mean, we've, I'm not going to go into it too hard because, you should already be following space weather news if you are genuinely interested. But we've been in a solar storm, a geomagnetic storm, for basically an entire 24 hours. So we're going to have back-to-back global nights of aurora, visibly in the mid to lower latitudes, even as far south as Florida. And on the southern side, okay, let me scroll down. So we got, yep, here we are. We've got the aurora forecast. I mean, that is crazy. For 2 nights in a row. From, I mean, it's not like any other solar weather, eruptions have really happened. What happened to this? That's weird. Oh. Okay, I want to find a different visualization for this, because this chart, both of these charts aren't exactly the best, but it works for now. So we really haven't had, it looks like just now, recently, I think, we've had another M class. Let me just see, I don't know if it's going to show up on here. It's kind of hard to tell. But it looks like from here we actually did have another M class flare. I don't know where the X class flare went. Either way, we've been in a solar storm for more than 24 hours now, which is pretty gnarly. I haven't added any more of the magnetic field lines yet. Those aren't really that hard to implement, so I'm not too worried about that. But I guess I'll just kind of go through some things here. Looking at the tremor map for the last day, it looks like it's calmed down a little bit. Everything's now focused over here. Is that northeast of Eureka? That's what is showing. But again, that's not the whole picture. We have to go here. So I actually combined all 3 of these feeds. So we got Canada, we got the USGS, and we have Europe. So I'm actually pretty happy with this, because there shouldn't be really a whole lot of overlapping data here. These are all pretty unique data sets. So this is pretty much full coverage. In fact, that's the one. But see, okay, hold on. If I also select Australia, I think we're going to have some repeating earthquakes up here, which I don't really want to see. I think that's going to be probably too cluttered. It's going to take a second here. Okay. No, I guess not. Well, yeah, okay, I think that's fine. I think that seems to be fine. So, okay, that's pretty much full coverage. And this is the last week of earthquakes. I'm going to take it down to just before the 6 hits. So, if we, yep, okay, there's the 6. Just take a look at all the activity that has happened since then. So yeah, that was not a full week ago. It was like 4 days ago. Yeah, there's been a lot happening. A lot of pressure transferring all throughout the globe. I'm pretty surprised that we have not seen anything bigger in South America, considering that is where the initial flash took place when that X2 erupted. However, we've seen a lot of activity elsewhere. So there's 5s peppered around everywhere. This 5 down here happened pretty much right as that X flare happened. So, I mean, I guess this was really the only thing that happened as far as South America goes since then. But then California. So, okay, this is interesting. So let me take this down a little bit. Let me clean things up here. And let's take a look. So there's a 4.9. It's a 5. I mean, this is like a 5.1. Okay, why is there... Okay, no, I didn't see this before. I don't think that's an overlap in the feeds. Wait. Wait, this 5 just happened? This 5 just happened. Like probably between me setting things up and hitting record, this just happened. Isn't that magnificent? Oh man. I mean, that's horrible. That's not good. It's not terrible. But I'm just saying, I seem to have some sort of uncanny sense of timing. Whenever I open this freaking program, something happens. I swear. Okay, well, Yeah, that just proves my point. So, South California, things are moving. And guess what? This was could have been fully predicted. Okay. In fact, it was. If you go look at Dutch Sense, his forecasting methods are legit. And to the point where I actually predicted this. All right, if you go to my X account, I also saw this as an incoming possibility. Now, I didn't have a specific range. I just said South California because I was looking at the activity on the plate, following Dutch Sense's forecasting method, and then it struck. So, you know, his forecast was a lot more accurate. I mean, he was literally within like 70 miles. I mean, even just to get it within 200 miles or so is like, that's his target. You know, he got it within such a precise timing. Now, the thing that makes this interesting is, okay, well, again, we just had another 5. Let's look this up. Let's look this up right now. Oh, wait, no, this is coming out of the Australian. Okay, no, this is an overlap. This is an overlap. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's a little bit too cluttered. I mean, why is that showing up on Australian feed? And it showed up as like recent. Okay, well, now I'm just a crazy person. I'm going to leave that in there. I'm not even going to, you know, so, okay, whatever. Really, how is that my fault? You know, you saw me scroll the date timer. It looked like it was a brand new earthquake. And why the hell would the Australian feed be covering that in the first place? Anyways, alright, it was a 5. It was predictable. And from the looks of it, man, that really shuts me down, doesn't it? That really grinds my gears. I don't know, it's probably just me, but it kind of looks like there's more aftershocks than you would typically expect from a 5. If, you know, just an observer. There seems to be a little bit more aftershock activity than one might expect. Now, okay, we'll click on this one. This is the legit one. 8,000 felt reports. When this initially went off, they were saying the aftershock forecast for 3 was like 70%. And then, oh, of course, now that we've had, you know, half a dozen, if not more, aftershocks in that range, oh, now they're gonna increase their own credibility. No. These aftershock forecasts are pretty much always dog shit. So whatever. But that's kind of the main activity that happened during that. As far as everything else is concerned, I know there's a lot of stuff going on here, but you know, a lot of this is in these island regions. Now, of course, Philippines earthquakes seem to be pretty devastating when they happened. You know, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in New Zealand down here, and Indonesia and these kind of areas, but a lot of these happen off the coast or in unpopulated areas. But the Philippines, man, they seem, when something big happens here, they seem to get pretty hammered by it. And we see this 5.0 activity reflecting pretty much all throughout the entire plate. And now we see this part over here breaking. I mean, that's not surprising. But okay, these 2 earthquakes are a little bit more uncommon, I would say, from a complete non-expert's point of view. Just saying, these 2 are not as common. Maybe this one, because again, we have these arrows and stuff, but you know, some pressure going out into the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. Look, okay, I've watched a lot of Dutch Sense. All right, I find this fascinating, especially when you go look at Google Maps, Google Earth, and you look at some of these locations and see some of the geographical features I mean, it's just astounding that, you know, there seems to be a pretty critical, blaring reason why we don't have, you know, mainstream earthquake forecasting, even though it's totally possible, it's totally doable, and at this point, it's totally inevitable. Whether or not Dutch will get the credit he's due, I don't know, but either way, there's more and more people kind of trickling into these things. And I gotta say, the old school RuneScape music is always slapping, so kind of helps get the brain cells going, you know? You know, I don't really know if there's a whole lot to cover here. Other than that, looks like... Okay, well this is already into tomorrow. Huh. I'm not sure where the 20th went. Oh, there it is. So, looks like maybe not as much stuff. But then again, I mean, you know, I don't look at this really particularly. Oh, okay, that's something I noticed. Looks like some of these volcanoes in the Alaskan island chain have kind of simmered down. But that's probably about it. I don't know, this looks pretty much the same as it normally does. Again, not that I really look at it too hard. But then let's just take a look here, because again, like, okay, let's go back here really quick and attempt. We're going to attempt to look at the Italy feed. I stopped bothering with this because it just, I mean, hasn't worked. Check firewall. Maybe it's something on my end. I don't know, but everything else works except for the Italy feeds. So that's why we're here. So that's why I don't care. It's because we have this. So, you know, some of the normal expected activity in the mountain ranges, and even at the volcanic locations, considering there's just a lot of pressure moving through the whole planet right now. Heck, I mean, honestly, if we didn't see activity at some of these locations, it might even be a bit suspicious. So, you know, having pressure release. Now this, I don't know what this is all about. I don't know this particular area. I did a little bit of ChatGPT action on it, and I mean, it just seems like there's a fault zone here. Which I know if we go here and turn this on, like, yeah, there's a major fault zone right in here. But there's got to be something else in particular. Like, I don't know what these, I think these are just roads. So yeah, there's got to be some particular geography going on here that is causing so much stuff going on here. I mean, it's nothing crazy. We got a 3.6, a 3, a 2.6, but you know, it's becoming pretty regular. So, you know, it's just something to look out for. Now see, we see it here, but this is the actual volcano that's close to it, and it's dead quiet. So I don't know. Again, you know, maybe there's an actual geologist that could say something about that. I'm just out here. Pointing at things, vibe coding, creating something that'll hopefully be a really good tool for other people, regardless of if you're a suspicious observer, if you're a amateur enthusiast, if you're a complete normie, you know. I hope this will eventually help anyone who decides to look into these things, and hopefully get a little bit of insight into how some of these things work, and you know, so on and so forth. So anyways, I think that'll do it for today. Hope everyone's having a good one, and I'll catch you all in the next one.